2021 has been such an exciting year for altcoins, but which altcoins have an even more interesting 2022? We found some with some potential, from important developments to their potential growth and also the risk they're facing, and of course an extra chart analysis. Welcome back to BeInCrypto, guys. My name is Jessica, and if you have not already, subscribe. We bring you videos like this regularly. We're going to jump in now with number one. Number one, we have Solana. This has been one of the best performers of 2021, rising over 10,000% in just 12 months. It made quite an impact in spring and it hasn't looked back since. Initially, it was nicknamed the Ethereum killer, which was a phrase that we decided not to really adopt on this channel, but it does have some similarities with Ethereum, and that's only on the surface. Solana has high goals, but even then they've realized Ethereum's position is pretty hard to overtake. Known as the Usain Bolt of blockchain for its high-speed transactions per second, even Rajav Gokal, one of the founders of Solana Labs, stated they're not out to kill Ethereum. And in September, they actually proved this statement with Wormhole 2.0, which was an Ethereum Solana bridge that really allowed the transfer of digital assets between ERC20 and SPL blockchains. NFT demand pushed multiple blockchains to create bridges, and this has been beneficial to the entire system. But could Ethereum's development likely impact Solana in 2022? Well, Ethereum 2.0 will transition into proof of stake completely, and this could solve Ethereum's scalability challenge. This gives us two scenarios. If ETH 2.0 doesn't work out, Solana will benefit, and if 2.0 is a great success, Solana's growth could suffer. But these are only two options. So can Solana completely move out of Ethereum's shadow? Well, we think it can, and this brings us to our next point of adoption. Solana's developers just want to know what users want. They're focused on projects that will be useful in the long term, but also they keep an eye out for what's trending. The main focus seems to be on DeFi and dApps. That was the first half of the year. But in the second half of the year, this was when things got interested. They added NFT markets like Solanart, Solansea, and fresh additions called Fractal was launched by Twitch co-founder Justin Kan. And gaming was also something showing huge potential. Solana Ventures teamed up with FTX and Lightspeed Venture Partners to work on a Web3 gaming ecosystem. The initial investment is reported to be $100 million, which is pretty bullish if I say so myself. And this often gets overlooked quite often in the crypto world. Well-funded projects have a huge competition edge. They have more room to make mistakes, more room to figure things out, and Solana Labs is one of the best funded projects out there. So in June, they shared news of a token sale for exactly $314.15 million. The numbers are the numbers of pi, if you guys noticed, and this 9-figure round has had some really popular names attached to it, from venture fund Andreas Horowitz to Alameda Research, which is managed by FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried. And this doesn't guarantee its chances, but it certainly does increase chances of success. So now let's take a look at the Solana chart. Two things jump out immediately: the scale of growth since the start of the year and also the current downtrend. And if you manage to take advantage of this huge climb this year, congratulations. There could be more room to grow though, and here's why. Right now, if you do look at the downtrend, it is confirmed, and many are looking at new levels for a rebound at least, where the levels need to be around 124 to 80. They're levels you need to watch in the coming weeks. But the overall outlook seems to be really positive. The scale of adoption, growth, and potential for a fully functioning blockchain ecosystem are drawing many people to the Solana orbit. So should the upward trend actually resume, the first target would be 259, with huge potential multipliers that follow the actual growth on the blockchains of its various platforms. The days of a 10x are probably behind us, but this is still something in its early stages of development, and judging by how flexible and how strong it's been, more growth is very likely. Even if Solana does manage to scale without any hiccups, we think the future is bright for Solana, and there is plenty of room for it to grow without. But a review wouldn't be complete without looking at the risks. Integration hasn't happened seamlessly, and there have been several outages and DDoS attacks. So given the scale of Solana and all these initiatives, some imperfections could be expected, but they are alarm bells when you look at scalability, and it shows that scalability is not 100% guaranteed. Next up, guys, we have to talk about it. With over 10 million users worldwide, Crypto.com and its CRO coin are among the altcoins that made the most noise in 2021. We think they deserve a place on this list, not because of the past performance, but because of future developments of the platform, and they seem to be on a trajectory that's going higher and higher. We'll go over their history in a little bit more context, and then we'll look at the main drivers behind Crow's growth this year, the risks facing them, and also the chart. So Crypto.com was founded back in 2016 actually, and had a different name, but the founders saw the potential of crypto and acquired one of the most coveted domains of the internet, Crypto.com, and then in 2018 rebranded themselves with the name. Crypto borrowing and lending was developed in 2019, and Crypto.com cards began shipping to the US. In 2020, the company's DeFi wallet had its debut, and this year their marketplace also launched. Snoop Dogg and Italian Series A's were among the top brands that joined almost immediately. Crypto.com has worked really hard at lightning pace over the past few years, and this brings us to today with competitors like Binance, Coinbase, and FTX. Let's see how they fare. Of course, Crypto.com doesn't have just 3 competitors. There are hundreds of centralized and decentralized exchanges out there, but these 3 are the ones that have the most focus on the US market and also showing ads of the same kind of audience fighting for the attention and dollars. So 2 have their own tokens and blockchains and also overlap pretty seriously with what Crypto.com has to offer. Binance had a head start and the largest crypto exchange for many metrics. Coinbase has gone public and amassed a serious amount of money. FTX is getting into celebrity partnerships and is supporting the Solana blockchain. So if one of these companies managed to outpace the rest in 2022, its token will likely get a boost, apart from Coinbase's stablecoin USDC, of course. But Crow has managed to carve out a pace for itself. They chose to really pour in resources and brand awareness and reach those that hadn't already become crypto investors. And what was interesting, there is a significant number of people like that. Their largest deal is worth $700 million, and it gave the company naming rights for the formerly known Staples Center in LA. And this had a huge impact. It pushed the market cap of Crow all the way from $10 billion to $20 billion in the space of days. Before that, back in October, we actually saw a Hollywood-style ad directed by Oscar-winning director Matt Damon. And they seem to be hitting all the right notes with these really strong campaigns, and they might continue getting them right in 2022. If there is one thing that could hurt Crow though, as well as other tokens from large crypto exchanges, it is regulation. In the US, regulation of crypto has been a really tricky issue. There's no single federal or state framework that could really help Crypto.com moving forward. So where we stand today is Crow is currently number 15 by market cap and has joined the big boys club. This usually means their multiplying is probably on the table in terms of price, but in some serious numbers, they could still be achievable, especially if the marketing campaigns continue in 2022. That could push Crow to fresh highs, but at the moment, the downtrend here makes us focus on the levels we could see a little bit more support from. The first one right now is trading at 48 cents, and after that 32 cents is either a point that could serve as a reversal. And if a reversal should happen, then a run up to an all-time high of just under $1, it could be pretty plausible. And that would still be a 100% rise, something people trading the stock market would bite their hands off for. Number 3 on our altcoin list for 2022 is Decentraland's MANA token, a superstar in the last few months, and we think this one could still be a big hype next year. The Metaverse hype is only getting started, and Decentraland has multiple competitive advantages that really make it mainstay among cryptocurrencies. MANA and other Metaverse coins like Sand saw really high growth rates right after the Facebook rebrand into Meta in late October. And when that happened, a lot of people in the space actually who knew about Metaverse projects seem to have a collective thought of, hang on a minute, there's already these metaverse worlds and they actually already have cryptos that we can invest in. And these guys, these are the ones to watch. Congratulations. So MANA grew over 5 times in the days, and right now the famous Zuckerberg presentation has come under some pressure recently and aligned more with a drop across the broader market. We're going to dig a little bit deeper though into MANA and see what it actually does and its prospects for next. Itself is a blockchain-based 3D world where people can have an avatar, play games, and purchase lands all in this space. So Decentraland is built on the Ethereum network and has ownership of the platform's second token land, and that's tracked. So to play, users have to keep their mana in Ethereum-based wallet. But to support how the entire Decentraland ecosystem works, the developers use a multi-layer architecture, and this allows you guys as users to create your own games, apps, and interactive content without the need for an interface. The MANA token has already had some large investors behind it, such as Digital Currency Group, who hold MANA worth $70 million. Genesis One Capital and Fundamental Labs are also holders, and they confirm there is some institutional interest in this altcoin. Now, they did suffer a blow at the beginning of November when one of the largest investment funds, SoftBank, decided to invest a cool $73 million in sand. But Decentraland does have a competitive advantage. It's actually one of the ones that provide a full immersive experience. Neither Axie Infinity or Sandbox, as fun as they are, can claim they have such an experience. So this could unlock the true purpose and potential of the Metaverse and also become a really viable competitor for Facebook. One world where you can play, work, and earn is the promise of Meta, but Decentraland is also on track and also is more of a crypto native favorite. But we're going to talk Ripple, MANA token, and Decentraland in general. Competition right now for the Metaverse is extreme. The Metaverse word is on everyone's lips. CoinGecko actually has a really handy chart that shows all the play to earn coins together, and this gives us a pretty good idea of how the industry is growing. So at the time of me bringing you this video, Decentraland holds the third place with a market cap of over $4 billion, which represents around 16% of the overall market. And actually, MANA resisted this downtrend for the broader crypto market for a while, but has recently succumbed to it. And if you can blame it, it's taken a breather after a cool 700% climb in less than a month. It was trading below $1 on October 28th and reached just under $6 in late November. It lost under 50% since then, which has to be painful for people that do believe in the project. But the promise of a Metaverse-focused coin is too big for us to ignore, and we do think many people will also want to invest in 2022. We've identified two support levels here. The first is $2.77, and the second is $2.20. If the price doesn't manage to break below them, then we could see a signal for another leg up, retracing those high levels that we did see in November. Guys, last on our list of 2022 altcoin hopefuls is actually Ripple's XRP, and yes, you did hear that right, and here's why. Love it or hate it, it's still very much alive and kicking, and trends come and go, but Ripple's XRP has a huge following, a lot of money involved in it, and also a top 10 marketplace by market cap in the crypto world. So let's see what's been happening with them and if 2022 can be the year of adoption or some regulatory backlash. A quick primer on what Ripple does. It's a tech firm that lets banks and financial institutions transfer money efficiently at a lower cost than existing payment networks. And they have other projects as well that use XRP tokens for payments between countries. Now let's refresh our memories about this lawsuit. So the US Securities and Exchange Commission are saying that Ripple's executives sold $1.3 billion worth of XRP directly to investors and the public. And while they should have registered with them, it was kind of like an IPO issue. Ripple, on the other hand, responded by saying that XRP isn't a security and therefore it isn't subject to regulation or regulatory registrations for that matter. Now, don't forget, Ripple has big investors like Google and SBI Holdings. The latest announcements around the case came in early December when Ripple's CEO Brad Garlinghouse actually told CNBC that they're seeing good progress despite the fact that it's slow. He also added that a resolution next year looks likely, and that's what XRP holders want to hear. But the prominent crypto traders on Twitter like Altcoin Gordon are already looking forward to the settlement of the lawsuit. So XRP in 2021 has managed to pull itself off the lows of the boringness of the year before that, and also despite the recent slump, it's still up 200%. This made particular XRP investment groups quite active recently. XRP whales have also been quite busy in the last few months. And do they know something that we don't? So whatever the circumstances, they've acquired around $200 million in the last 3 months. And this has caused quite a bit of optimism in the XRP ranks. But are there any other signs that things could be better for XRP in 2022? Well, back in November, the number of transactions on the XRP network actually grew by 10 million to over 53 million. That's according to research from Crypto Compare. The number of new accounts was also up 11%. But on the flip side, and something that we do have to mention, account deletions also increased, and the percentage was quite high, down 518%, just under 40,000 accounts. Now the chart didn't really reflect this and just followed Bitcoin's descent, but let's take a quick look at how things are looking and what we can expect from XRP. It's been a volatile year for XRP. After reaching multi-year highs from just $2 in April, it's been on a bumpy ride to say the least. What we can see now, a drop to 50 cents and then back up again to $1.40. Now we find ourselves at around 80 cents. This consistent throw though is underlying the slow uptrend in which you can see on the chart. We're actually at a really crucial point on that trend, and we could see some bigger moves in the coming weeks. The main trigger for growth to $2, or the all-time high has been several years ago, is the lawsuit. If it's resolved and Ripple XRP is in favor, then it could indeed grow multiple times. But on the other side, if the SEC rules have been a violation, it'll be a hard hit to come back from. I now want to ask you guys, what do you think will happen to XRP in 2022? Will the lawsuit be resolved in Ripple's favor? And what about Solana, MANA, and Crow? What are your predictions for them in the year? Comment below and share your thoughts on any of the altcoins that you think could skyrocket. If you are looking to get involved, you can also buy this and many more coins on Stormgain, which is BeInCrypto's partner crypto exchange. The link is down in the description box below, and you may get a cashback promo on your very first deposit. That's all from me today, but as always, subscribe to not miss any more content like this, especially over the holiday season, and make sure to see you all again very soon.